In this video, we're finishing up problem E920 from page 530. We're going to do the double declining balance depreciation schedule. So we still have the same problem. We've got this same chicken equipment, and it still lasts 4 years. This time we're going to depreciate it a little faster using what's called double declining balance. It's used for assets that depreciate fast, like technology, right? Your computer might last for 10 years, but it's really going to be out of date and not useful after, say, 2 or 3. So it's used frequently for things like that. So we're going to do this. I want to remind you that the double declining balance rate, the rate we depreciated at, is 2 times the straight line rate. What's the straight line rate? Well, the straight line rate is always 1 divided by the number of years. So this is a 4-year asset, so the straight line rate is 1 over 4. So that means a double declining balance rate is 2 times 1/4. All right, so let's just get to that. I'll put equals 2 times 1/4 for us. All right. We buy the asset. It still costs $33,000. And on that day we buy it, it had a book value of $33,000. Now, one area where double declining balance is different from straight line or units of production, instead of using our rate against the asset cost, we're going to take the book value. So every time we recalculate book value, we're going to bring it over here. So our book value, of course, the first year is the $33,000. All right. And the double declining rate is 2 times the straight line rate, 2 times a quarter, or 1/2, right? So 33,000 times 0.5 is equal to 16,500. And of course we don't have any depreciation to date, so our accumulated is 16,500 and 33,000, right? Asset cost minus accumulated depreciation, 16,500 is equal to 16,500. All right. Now, that's our book value. For the next year, we bring that over here. 16,500. What's the rate? Same rate, 2 times a quarter, or 1/2, however you like to think of it. So 16,500 times 0.5 is equal to 80,250. All right. So accumulated depreciation is always the old accumulated plus the new expense. So 16,500 plus 80,250 is 24,750. 33,000 minus 24,750 is equal to 80,250. All right. Now, at this point, it's kind of important to stop and take a look. As you do these double declining balances, it's depreciating fast, right? Double the rate. So you're going to get to your residual value maybe before the end of the useful life, right? So remember what our residual value was, right? It's 6,000. So I can see that if I take half of 80,250, and this is just me because I have experience, but I realize, oh, if I take half of 80,250, 4,125, I'm going to go below 6,000, right? I'm going to go to 4,125, right? So I can't go below the residual value. So what I have to do here is, instead of taking 8,250 times 2 1/4, I'd have to take whatever the difference between this is, whatever gets me to 6,000, right? So 8,250 minus 6,000 is equal to 2,250, right? We call that a plug. It's like whatever it takes to get the number, right? So I knew that because I realized, you might not realize it till you work out the problem and you go, oh, dang, I'm below 6,000, and you have to erase it and go back. That's okay, but just remember, at some point you're going to have to stop depreciating because you can't go below the residual value. All right, so just like always, our accumulated depreciation that goes here is accumulated depreciation from the previous year plus my new expense is equal to 27,000. So I'm done depreciating it, right? 33,000 minus 27,000 is equal to 6,000. So I'm done depreciating. I'm not done for the year. I mean, for the life of the thing, it's still working. So the next year, the last year, I just take 0 depreciation expense. My accumulated depreciation then is still 27,000. And my book value is still 6,000. All right? So the hardest part about double declining balance is figuring out when to stop. Some people on the test will accidentally keep going. So you want to remember, okay, I got to stop when it gets to the number I'm shooting for, the residual value, and sometimes you just plug that number in, whatever it takes, right? The book value minus the residual value goes right there. All right, that's it for E9-20.